Right, let's expand on the conversation now. We're joined by CEO of Fibre Processing and Manufacturing, SETA, Dr. Felleng Yende. Dr. Yende, very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. The aim is to create a much stronger crop of entrepreneurs. Perhaps let's start off right at the beginning about some of the observations and conversations and even considerations that needed to be made for this, program to take place and this conversation to be angled in such a fashion?
No, thank you very much, and thanks for the opportunity. As you'd be aware that today we're actually launching the 6 programs that the 21 cities have come together to ensure that they collaborate and actually support henceforth. We know that in the past the cities were seen to be operating in silos, and it is indeed against that background that we decided as the Association of Chief Executive Officers of SETAs that we come together and we begin to discuss opportunities as a collective. We begin to discuss strategies to address unemployment of young people in our country as a collective, and that resulted in us agreeing as 21 cities to come up with a summit that was launched today, or that was rather launching the 6 programs today, to say, let us look at a new era of SETAs, a new era that will look at projects that will be delivering on high impact, not necessarily projects that will actually be chasing numbers. So we want to actually make sure that we make a difference and we are able to see the outcome and measure the outcomes of all the initiatives that we will be supporting as a collective, as 21 cities in the country.
What do some of those 6 high-impact programs embody?
So some of them, it's we launched today infrastructure development, but we are actually saying that the infrastructure development that we're talking about is infrastructure development that will then have technology enablement, all right? Mm-hmm. And it will be infrastructure development that will also assist us to provide capacity building for officials in government, for them to can be competent in delivering on their mandate. The other one is entrepreneurship, which we looked at, and we looked at again the scourge of unemployment in the country and the difficulty in getting young people that are coming out of universities absorbed into jobs or formal jobs, and we therefore argue that there is still an opportunity for us to then look at the entrepreneurship as an opportunity where we can be able to, reskill the entrepreneurs that are in the system, upskill the entrepreneurs that are in the system, but also skill the emerging entrepreneurs. But the skilling that we really are talking about is the skilling that will then embed technology advancements to make sure that the entrepreneurs that we are supporting are the entrepreneurs that will respond to future demands and future market expectations.
So as you speak about that as a basis point, what does this conversation mean for those who may be watching in grade 12 or in grade 10, thinking about their potential careers and sectors and scale in terms of where to go so you become sustainable and you're able to work in the face of AI and so forth?
So we are arguing that when we looked at education in the past, we used to think of universities. Everybody would want to be at a university to actually study and graduate. But if you look at the technology today and you look at research today, we know that entrepreneurs contribute significantly to the economy of a number of countries. For an example, if you look at South Africa, we know that also we have got 34% of GDP contribution coming from small businesses. So we are saying to young people who are in grade 12, who are in grade 10, it is important that when they are undertaking their courses at school level, basic education level, they must actually think ahead. They must think big. They must no longer think about being in school to be employed, being in school to be absorbed into formal employment, but we want to instill or inculcate a different mindset of being in school to want to start a business upon completion and be able to be an employer and actually contribute to the economy of the country. So we are saying today to young people that are interested in joining the entrepreneurship stream, there are a lot of opportunities. If you look at 21 SETAs, we are 21 SETAs that are actually servicing different types of sectors. And what we have done is we have tailored our occupational qualifications with entrepreneurship to make sure that we don't just skill for certification, but we skill to make sure that those that are not formally absorbed, they can then be able to be assisted to start their small businesses. And the starting of the small businesses, our model is actually quite interesting because we are saying we are embedding and we have embedded technology into the entrepreneurship stream, and we will be making sure that there's monitoring and evaluation that then happens. So it's not a 12 months program or 24 months program where learners will be left independently to study. We will be making sure that we attach coaching, we attach mentorship into the program, as well as monitoring and evaluation to make sure that there's value for money. And we are able to start sustainable initiatives or sustainable entrepreneurs that will then be able to create jobs in future.
Yeah, we heard the Higher Education Minister, Professor Bladen Nzimande, saying and calling for integrity and credibility within the SETAs. How imperative is that call as you've come together to ensure that you make a difference and that this collaboration bears some fruit?
It's absolutely important. It's credibility, it's absolutely important. We will be using and we are using funding that comes from the department through tax that is paid by business, and therefore credibility on how this funding is utilized is super important. So SETAs, as part of the discussions that we are having today and tomorrow, we will be developing a framework that will then inform the projects that will then be responding to the 6 programs that we launched today. So we are looking at coming up with very clear systems that will ensure that there is transparency and there's full accountability and, following the money, following the investment, and also making sure that we have impact assessment that then tells the output of the initiatives that we will be supporting. So it is absolutely imperative that we make sure that the work that we'll be doing will be of high level of credibility and testable indeed.
Very well. Thank you so much. Let's perhaps leave it there for now. And thank you for your time. The CEO of Fibre Processing and Manufacturing sector, Dr. Felleng Yende, joining us there and expanding on some of the broader commitments being made by the 21 SETAs within this diverse program.